All right, let's bring in our panel. Shannon Bream is the anchor of Fox News Sunday. Chris Swecker is a former assistant FBI director. And Jonathan Turley is a George Washington University professor and a Fox News contributor. Shannon, thank you so much for being here. And you're here on set with us, so it's great to have you. One of the things I think is interesting for people to understand is just how this works. It's not like the White House says, okay, go raid his home, or even the FBI says, go raid his home. This has to go through a process. There had to have been a judge that said there was a reason for them to go in.
Yeah, that's how this works. You've got to actually go through all of these due process and protective legal framework that is in place. And so a judge would have had to look at this. There has to be a warrant in place, and there would have to be some probable cause for moving forward and looking for whatever is outlined in that warrant, documents and other things that they may stumble upon while they're there. You know, we have these protections for a reason, and you want people to have confidence in what our agencies are doing when they carry these things out, that they have been vetted. And something that's happening at this level, you would know would have to involve the top levels of the FBI and DOJ. Leaders would not be unaware. They would be very involved in this warrant process and getting things to where they are this morning.
Chris, will bring you in. If those federal agents do find anything incriminating inside of that house, how soon would any of that go public? Would we have to wait for some sort of a criminal filing, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, behind every search warrant, a federal search warrant, is an affidavit that spells out facts that really provide probable cause for two things. One, that evidence that a crime has been committed, and there's evidence in a specific location that you want to search. So that affidavit should be unsealed. It's sealed right now. When that affidavit is unsealed, then we'll see what the facts are that support this affidavit. But I will say, you know, I've consulted with several of my colleagues. We were the leadership team just before Comey. And we're looking at this a little bit skeptically because we were very heavily critical of the Mar-a-Lago raid. And just because you have the authority and the discretion to do something like this doesn't mean you should. So we're waiting. You know, we just don't want to see the FBI weaponized for the other side, if you will, just turning the playbook over. So we're anxiously awaiting the unsealing of that affidavit, because I believe it will be what we call a speaking affidavit, which will really lay out pretty much of the case, at least supporting the search warrant, and probably a little bit more.
Jonathan Turley, we haven't heard your thoughts yet this morning. Anxious to hear your initial thinking on this.
Well, I think that's a very good point. There's a great concern about whether this is retaliation against a political opponent. We just don't know, because we haven't seen the warrant, we haven't seen the affidavit. We do know that there's been a long-standing disagreement, as David Spunt noted, going back to Bolton's book. And it does not appear that that disagreement was ever truly resolved, at least from media accounts. But that was years ago. The question is, why now? And what has happened? And we'll know that better, I think, sooner than later. Keep in mind, Bolton himself can reveal what was taken and what was explained to him in the documents that he was given. So some of this information may come from his side. Now, for Bolton's counsel, you have to move very quickly here. I'm a defense attorney by training, and we're on the other side of these warrants. When you have someone like Bolton, you want to move quickly to say that you're going to need two teams here. We have privileged information. We may have protected information under the Constitution. And we want to make sure that you minimize the intrusion into areas that could compromise clients or unrelated interests. So there is a chance that they're on the phone right now trying to confirm how these documents are going to be handled. My guess, if I was counsel, I'd be saying, I want your assurance that these are going to be locked away till we can resolve this before your inspection. So there's probably a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now.
Chris, we saw a couple of cryptic posts on social media from AG Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. Do you think we hear anything else from FBI or DOJ at some point today regarding these raids?
Oh, I think so. I think we'll probably hear from the president as well, maybe not as much, but they do tend to communicate via Twitter and that sort of thing. What I'll be looking for, though, is it's not an element of the search warrant, but I'm looking for true impact on our national security. Was something of national security value actually compromised? The information's, these events are fairly dated. The book has already come out. If I see evidence of that, then I'll be a believer, and I'll believe that this isn't just simply flipping that playbook, if you will. So, I think a lot will come out today. I think they'll unseal that search warrant affidavit as quickly as they can because I think they want the American public to know what this was about. Next step could be a grand jury. We'll see. If it goes that far, but when you go to the trouble of doing a 7 a.m. search warrant on someone like John Bolton, I think it's a serious investigation.
Shannon, I want to play for you something from John Bolton. He was on ABC's This Week on August 10th, so that was just, 12 days ago. Let's watch here.
We're about to talk about Trump's retribution campaign we're seeing at the FBI and the Justice Department. You're obviously on his enemies list, at least Kash Patel's enemies list. Are you worried that they're going to come after you in some way? I mean, he's hinted at it before.
Well, I think he's already come after me and several others in withdrawing the protection that we had from the Iranians for the attack on Qasem Soleimani. So I think, and I said in the new forward to the paperback edition of my book, I think it is a retribution presidency.
So you wonder if he had some inkling that maybe this was happening. I don't know. But also President Trump came in office. He had an executive order on this. What did that say?
He did on day one, and it was about the de-weaponization of government. And part of what that says is actions by prior administrations, by the Biden administration. It said these actions appear oriented more toward inflicting political pain than toward pursuing actual justice or legitimate governmental objectives. So this administration has got to very much be aware of the optics, too, as they carry out whatever happens and whatever we find in this Bolton raid.
Who do we have on Fox News Sunday?
Senator James Lankford is with us. We're going to talk about whether the Senate is ready to move forward with those Russian sanctions. They've been waiting on a signal from the president, but Putin doesn't look like he's moving toward peace. So does the Senate drop the hammer? All
right. Well, thank you, Shannon Bream and Chris Swecker and Jonathan Turley. Thank you. This breaking news this morning. No doubt we'll see more of you today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.